here at Mount Panorama, and I'm joined by a star-studded lineup as we wind back the clock on some classic Bathurst moments. 12 years of Bathurst victories on this couch. So I'm going to start with the 7, the 6, the 5 and the 4-time Bathurst champions.
I knew I was going to be at the bottom.
Oh, never, Murph. This is almost like a bit of a counselling session,
Could
isn't
be
it?
a little Chesterfield, a bit of word association. What about you two blokes? Do you get palpitations when you see that car, right?
He couldn't
Obviously
help
qualified
himself.
really well.
Yeah.
Qualified really well.
Yeah.
Didn't go that well in the race. What happened?
Oh, I'll explain it then. No,
I never got to drive it.
he never got to drive. He was fresh. But yeah, like we started the race really nice. The funny thing is, were you aware of what was going on?
No, I didn't know what was going on.
I had no idea.
I was deer in headlights, man. That was my first time in a supercar. I was just like, this is crazy.
Can you just tell the story, Lowndes? Tell them what happened.
Well, we changed engines like we did on Saturday night. Got everything done. We had a great lead in. The car was working beautifully. A bit behind the scenes, they were like ducks.
Yeah.
Everything up top was looking good. Underneath it was like absolutely scrambling, trying to put, I think there was egg whites. There was all sorts of things going down radiators, trying to seal that engine up. And of course, I think it was lap 13 or something. I was chasing Jimmy. I was coming down Conrod Straight and it was like a truck. I was going back gears trying to catch him. And then all of a sudden I had to clutch it and roll it in.
But the other car did the same, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Brock's fault, was
Pretty
it?
famous, pretty famous. We were there at the time, and Brock got out of the car, and Thomas got in and straight on the radio as he was driving down pit lane. The red light is on, fellas. You know, the oil light is on. It had no oil pressure. And Brock was like, it was fine when I got out of it.
Yeah.
It was fine when I got out of it.
Brock pitted 4 laps before schedule. Oh, I think it's time for a stop. I'll jump out of the
I
car.
remember, I think it was something like the fuel lights on, and we're all scratching our head trying to think, why so early? Obviously, we know.
Yeah. 1995 that car is from, and a big thanks to the Egglestons who've lent us both of these absolutely incredible cars, because yours is behind us, 2005, and you stuck your head in the door to see if your seat position was still okay. Was it you?
Well,
Could you still
yes.
fit in there?
Yes, I can, Jessica. But
We'd like to see him try and get in there.
Hang on. The seat position's in the same position. Can he fit in there? Still to
Two
be
different
determined.
No, that's not to be determined. What you were doing before we started this
Well, then can the
was
belts be done
about.
up?
That's
Well,
probably
it
the
wasn't
more
even
pertinent
that, young
question.
Craig. What the issue was where the steering wheel was, and you guys were having a lot of fun as to where I used to have the steering wheel. That was how it started.
Your head used to be very close to the steering wheel.
Right.
Yeah.
We drove together. We were in the same spot.
Yeah, that's because I said it had to be like that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you
Yeah.
pulled
For
rank,
once,
didn't you?
for once, it was my car. He'll do as he's told. That was the
How'd
only
that
time
go?
he's ever done it.
Yeah, right, okay. 2005, though, Todd Kelly's birthday.
Yes.
And you saw him. It was his birthday Thursday.
Yeah, great for Todd to relive that, and it was a great moment for him, obviously, to get a win at Bathurst. It's a life-changing moment for anyone that's successful around here. And for Todd, it was a really emotional day for him. By the time we got to the end of the day, 2005, Greg was caught up on the hill. He was having his own fun moment up at the cutting, talking to one of his best mates. And that was the year
was
they
that year.
Just kissed
decided
him
to...
haven't you?
Yeah,
For 20
you're all
years.
matey again now, aren't
Yeah,
you?
we're great. We're
Yeah.
fantastic. We just wish we'd done it earlier.
So
Yeah.
is that how long it takes to get over some of those moments? 20
Well,
years?
there was
Is
a
that
lot of
about the-
passion. Yes, there was a lot of passion back then, wasn't there, boys? None of us liked each other, actually. Couldn't
Still don't
stand him. He couldn't stand me.
You wouldn't have sat on a lounge together?
No, we definitely wouldn't have. But that's what it was all about. I mean, we were very passionate about it, and those days were fantastic. These cars were fantastic. We were in the golden era of supercars, really, with Ford and Holden battling it out. I mean, the passion was amazing. I got a death threat after the situation in 2005. It came by a written letter.
Wow.
Not on social media, It took it was 3 weeks late. It arrived 3 weeks after the incident, So, that's how it was done back then, but, it's special.
Tell me what it's been like, though. I know you and Marcus have caught up and you've done something for Repco around that moment, burying the hatchet, if you like. Just give us a snapshot of what that's been like for you.
Well, he hasn't been here for 10 years. Which actually blew me away, right? And when he went and went to America and did his thing, was over there for a long time, came back briefly, had a small foray back into supercars, and then went again and disappeared and went into a different life, and now he's come back, and it's been awesome because we haven't crossed paths. There's been no place to cross paths for that period of time, and when he came back from the US, he was still in motor racing sort of space. But to catch up here with doing the Repco ad and then go up the cutting and have a chat about it all, it's been great, really good.
Yeah.
Because there always was a lot of respect.
Yeah.
We just didn't get on.
You just didn't like each other.
That is true.
There wasn't. Was it the press conference at Gold Coast like 2 weeks later?
No,
You
it was.
two
It
were
was
into
actually no. It was the year. It was before. It was the
so you
year
had
before.
pre-
So it
you
had
had
already
priors.
started
You had
before then.
priors.
Yeah, it had been unraveling
12
for
months to
12
get
months.
into it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. But a lot of you have shared a lot of memories up here. I mean, you've all co-driven together at some point up here at Mount Panorama.
Yes.
Tell me about that, what it was like going from being, I guess, adversaries to then teammates at the biggest race of the year.
Yeah, well, it's always fun because you do genuinely team up, and when you do that, there's a lot of work in the background that goes into not only making the car as good as you can, but you're obviously trying to optimise both of your performances over the weekend. I mean, I remember with Lowndes that, was it 97 we were battling for the lead? You were obviously blazing up behind me. We were battling across the top of the hill. And Craig decided to round a lap car up around the outside at Reed Park and went in the
great
fence.
move.
Yeah, it was a good move. You remember that, Murph?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Anyway, it got to the next year that all of a sudden we'd had this mad battle in the race, and then all of a sudden we were teammates.
Yes.
It just changes the dynamic unbelievably.
Yeah, it was actually, like, I do remember that because I had a bad year in Europe. I come back and had a bad race in Bathurst. I had to apologise to him and the team. And
Get me out of my seat. But I
came
don't
back.
remember the apology.
I said it on the radio.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or did it come by a pigeon?
Yeah, probably.
Probably
Yeah.
got mailed to you.
I'll
mate.
take it now. I'll take it now.
I apologise.
Thank you
Murph.
very much.
Oh, wow.
How
We
many
got that
years
on
is that?
tape.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right,
Be able to play
97.
that again.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point of Bathurst too, isn't it? It's not just about the victories and the success. The madness and the mayhem define so much of what happens around here, and everyone has their own tale to tell in that regard. What's the standout moment of madness and mayhem for you, Murph? Can you pinpoint one?
Maybe last night, actually, just in the campground here, doing Repco activation. Going up the mountain, I'll never get sick of going up there and actually being amongst these incredible people that have got better stories than we've got, you know, with their 25, 30, 40, 45, 50 years of coming to the mountain. I find that just so incredible to listen and understand, and the passion from those, because we wouldn't exist without that.
Yeah.
We really wouldn't. This wouldn't have the history, wouldn't have the meaning that it has without what those people provide. And I take my hat off to everybody.
That's a really good point. I mean, you look in there and you see Barry Seaton's Cortina. You know, it's 1965 winning car.
Yeah.
So you think about the history and you think about the iterations and you think about some of the names and some of the characters and you think about the battles up here. I mean, those legendary battles of Brock and Moffat up here. I mean, that's the start, essentially, of what is now Supercar. We would not be where we are without all of that history that's made this place so special.
Oh, it's the names as well. I mean, you mentioned Brock, Moffat, Perkins, Johnson, Richo. Then you were the young guy that came in, you and Cito. I mean, a lot of people always ask you, what's so special about this race? And you speak about the pilgrimage to the top of the mountain. I think there's a campsite up there, Smarties Circus, celebrating 50 years this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
So 50 years, massive big top up there. They've been doing it for 50 years. So think about that, the commitment to our sport. I mean, we talk about our commitment to the sport. We're nothing. We're lightweights in comparison to that. So that's what makes this race so special. The history of the people that have gone before us as drivers, but also the passionate support from the fans and the pilgrimage. I mean, we drove up here on Monday and you could see all these caravans coming from Melbourne, and I knew exactly where they were going.
Yeah.
They were coming here.
Yeah.
But the other thing to you, as you said, Jess, like, it's not the victory ones, it's the ones that sort of escape you. They're the ones that really hurt. And I think that, I think back now, like, Kevin Bartlett puts a Camaro up on its roof. And then you got Dick Johnson coming out of Forest Elbow, clips it, and ends up down in the trees.
Yeah.
Like, there's all those special moments as a child, and a lot of these kids are here, watching us running around now. Sort of those memories stick in your brain, and it's an event you want to come and at least have an attempt to be part of.
So you think about the reaction on the top of the hill and stuff. The scariest thing that I ever did up there was with Anders Olofsson. He decided, as we drove out of the paddock on Saturday night in a Nissan Maxima in 1992, he said, Mark,
Because you were
let's
very
do a lap.
popular in your Nissan.
No, I wasn't very popular. I don't know why. But anyway, he said, oh, Mark, let's do a lap of the track. I said, really, Anders? He said, yeah, let's go. So we drive up the top. You can imagine how packed it is. We're doing walking speed. The crowd grab the Nissan Maxima and start doing this to it.
Rocking
And
it.
you can imagine, because Anders, the big, cool, like Swede, nothing, non-flappable, right? No drama with Anders. He's in the passenger seat. He says, "Mark, we are in effing trouble." And I said, "We are in effing trouble, all right. This is bad." Anyway, we got to the bottom of the hill, but that was bad.
I mean, we were up there this morning, you know, so amazing people having a chat, and we were reminiscing a little bit about, you know, back in the day, back when things were a little bit different up there. And I remember getting in a helicopter on the morning of the 1997 race, actually, on the Monday morning, with I think the Navy guys who'd been here all weekend doing displays, and I come for a fly in the morning. I was crazy enough, I did it, and I'd never seen the top of the mountain post a Bathurst event, and it was only my third race. We flew over the top. It was like it had been napalm.
Apocalyptic.
Like it was apocalyptic. It was like being like Vietnam. Like there was the things that were on fire up there. There was bodies lying around the place, and you know there were no trees. No trees were left without.
That's the thing that
it was
stands out
it was
for me.
insane. It was just incredible.
Early days
evolved,
for me
thank
when I
goodness.
came here, it was 98. And every night you look at the top of the mountain, it was orange. It was on fire because they just burnt everything. Couches, anything that was anything. Yep, that'll burn.
We're family friendly now.
Yeah,
it is.
that's not the case
Richo and I
today.
thought the worst reaction obviously was the 92 thing when the cans were being thrown at us, but there was nothing compared to the executives at Nissan decided to put a corporate suite next to the Castrol Tower one year. And that didn't work out so well. So the managing director took his wife up there. They stood out on the balcony, they're having a glass of champagne and then seeing what the antics
Glass
were.
of champagne.
Champagne wasn't the right drink either.
On that day when you're standing on the podium and all that's going on, what do you have in your pockets?
That was
On that day.
Yeah, Jimmy was a little concerned because we used to get a Top Gun Tui's jacket, and I was filling. The managing director of Tui's of the day was a beautiful guy called Michael Wesling, and he's standing there with me, and I'm getting all these beers and putting them in my jacket pocket
For later.
for later.
Yeah, of course.
And Jimmy says, "Skaife, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to throw a few back." and he said, "No,
That's a great
don't
idea.
do that. Don't do that." Then he went out and called them a pack of, you know what he called them.
Your corporate mind's got better since then. hasn't it? Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I can absolutely
cans of beer.
imagine him up for the fight. He's going to take them all on down there. He jumped off the podium,
And there was-
fought every single one of them.
No one else that could have stopped him, honestly. Jimmy was probably the only one that would have just looked at you, and you would have taken your hands out of your pockets pretty quickly and put them in the air.
I put the beers back on the bench and I'd walk
You got a
out
lot
there.
to thank him for.
I
Yeah.
do have a lot to thank him
you
for.
do.
I mean, you think about him. We talk about
Yeah.
people. Man, how good was he at this place? What about the year? So just don't talk about his wins, but the year that he out-qualified all the superstars. So in 87, in the BMW M3s, when all the world's best BMW drivers were here, he hosed them all. Pirro, Rivalia, Cicotto, the whole lot of them, hosed them all in a local BMW. And I know which would have been the best BMW that year. It certainly would have been Jim's.
Well, the Aussies didn't know to cheat as well as the Germans.
Exactly.
So his car would have been legit.
And this is when he called them a pack of lovely, lovely people. So that was a big make amends.
Full circle
So
moment.
how old was he then?
He was 55.
He was older than you, Lowndesy.
Yeah.
Well, I still got more time, and you can come back.
No way.
Yeah.
My favourite
That's
Richo thing,
incredible. That is-
before we finished Richo, was a shootout lap he did here in a HRT car. Would have been 03, 04.
He was 56.
Yeah, and he qualified third. He was quicker than you. He was quicker than me. He was, I think, quicker than you. It's just like, man, that guy's so cool. I mean, there's no chance we could do that now at that age.
Couldn't agree more.
No way.
Absolutely. 100%.
I won't even try.
But I love the tag, though. It was Gentleman Jim.
How'd you get that? Yeah.
What made him so good? I mean, you've all had proximity to him now that you can sit back and analyse all of it. What was it about him that made him so good, particularly here?
Well, his car control was unbelievable. I mean, I've never been... We've been in the car together a lot on the road doing mad stuff, but his car control was out of control, like so good. He had an immense level of confidence, but he was super brave too. You know, his braking and his ability to get the car to the corner was just extraordinary. I think at his best, he was the world's best touring car driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to. How do you deny that?
Yeah.
But it's people ask why is someone so good. It's not easy to define.
No, it's
really. In many because what does make someone that little bit better than someone else? I mean, there's confidence. There's all sorts of things, words that we can use, but effectively at the end of the day, there is a makeup that somehow just there's some electronic things going on in the brain there that just connect better than other people.
You mentioned character as well. Unflappable, like completely unflappable. I mean, my very first Bathurst at Gary Rogers Motorsport 98, he was sharing with Jason Bargwanna in the other car. And he could see on Saturday night I was a little bit nervous. We're at a team dinner and I was, a little bit nervous, had a lot on my mind. He walked over with a six-pack, sat down and said, have a beer. I was like, I can't have a beer the night before Richo. And he's like, have a beer, you need to sleep tonight. So I had a beer with Richo the night before my very first Bathurst. And I was just like, such a calming effect. Yeah. And I mean, that will stay with me for the rest of my career.
Yeah, but he loved cars though, right, too. Like technically, build things, make things. He had a brain that could see things. He loved, tinkering. All those years, once he sort of finished racing TCM and building his own cars, his love affair, all that, and understanding and perfection, because the stuff that he built was
mint, absolutely.
All his Porsches, everything, his transporter, everything, just absolutely perfection, right?
Yeah.
My first time going out riding a dirt bike was Jim Richards. He was
on a
mad. Motorbike, two wheels, insane.
He's absolutely insane. But the part about it too is, given that he never paid for anything, Murph, he always kept enough money.
He still got it all.
Yeah, he still got his money, I know, but he kept enough money that he made his race cars really, really good because he never paid for anything.
And you have?
Well, I did pay for him. Yeah.
Perhaps for you tonight, Lounsey, that's what you need to do with Zach Bates. Sit there and have a beer together. It's a big day for that boy, but it's an interesting
just one, Lounsey.
Equation, isn't it? That you guys sat in that very seat with those men who made this place so special for you, were the mentors and showed you the way, and now you hold that same position working with Ryan Wood. You've mentored plenty of young drivers coming through the ranks. You've got Matt Payne in your ranks as well as Kai Allen, and for you to Zach with Zach Bates, it's fantastic that you pay it forward, that's actually how the mountain works as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think with Zach, he's pretty chilled outside the race car. He put a helmet on him. He's an animal, but it's great. There's all that you're talking about, how he's just brash and doesn't even think about the consequences in some regards, because he just wants to be the fastest.
Well, you were like that.
Well, of course we were.
Certainly like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that as you get older, you're sort of learning about a lot of those memories of, like, I suppose, like Brock, when he sat me down and all that, you sort of, you do pass it on or give it back. And for me, like Zach, he got out of the car after qualifying and goes, what's that word he's trying to think of this word, and like, I'm really happy I was in qualifying, but damn, I'm angry I missed out in the top 10. Yeah. It's like, well, that's motor racing. You sort of get the highs and lows all the time. So he's so passionate about it all. But yeah, we'll sit down tonight. And again, like when I first come here in 94, I wasn't meant to be in the car at the end. It was Brad Jones. And the way the circumstances ended up, I was in the car. I got to park for May. I couldn't let go of the steering wheel. My adrenaline was what was pumping me going. And when you slow that down, you just stop, you freeze. So for me, it's all going to be about that, for me, teaching him about that tomorrow.
But that characteristic you just spoke of, I mean, that's a really good sign. Because if that's the Jim Richards example, the gentleman Jim part, as soon as he put a helmet on, he was certainly not like that. There was no element of gentleman at all. He would sell his mother to win a race, right? So at the end of the day, you've actually got to have that characteristic, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it all boils down to it, when we make the pilgrimage here to the mountain each and every year, for all of you, I know you would sit and think about it. What does this place actually mean? How do you quantify the things it's given you, the experience, the connection, the friendships, the memories, all of that stuff? How do you actually, articulate that?
We try to put that into a context a lot, I think, right? It's a privilege. This is an absolute privilege. I mean, I vividly recall 1984, sitting in the lounge room at home, watching Peter Brock in that Group C Commodore, VK Commodore, and just like draw on the ground going, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. One day, man, I'd love to go and watch that race. And then, love to go to Bathurst. And it started from there. Still never thinking it was going to be possible for another 6-7 years after that. And then you finally come here and you just get this incredible, overwhelming feeling of how special it is. And for me, it's always been a privilege to be here, to be on this racetrack. And you've got to earn it, right? But certainly you've got to work very hard and create the opportunities to be successful here. But there's no rules. It can giveth and taketh as it sees fit. and it's done that so many times to so many people. We've all got examples of it, but we've also been fortunate to have it giveth as well.
Yeah.
It's life-changing. Like winning this race is life-changing. You can win 100 races in regular championship season. You win this one, it changes your life. When you walk out onto that podium as the winner of the Bathurst 1000, your life is different when you walk back off. It's that simple. And I remember telling Will Davison that when we won in 09 right here, it was my second win. And I said to Will, as we were walking out, your life's about to change. And he didn't. It was only when he won it in 16 again, he texted me and he goes, I understand what you mean now. And it does, because everyone, when you walk down the street on Monday morning after winning this race, everyone knows what you achieved the day before. And that's what makes this race so big and so special.
And I think that's the real perspective, Garth, because it is a Stop the Nation day in Australian sport. You think about the AFL Grand Final and the NRL Grand Final and the Melbourne Cup and the Boxing Day Test and the big things that happen in this country. This is one of them. And from that perspective, it's a real honour, isn't it, to be able to walk away from here and be able to win. And I think to your point, Murph, I think it comes with a lot of respect at the same time. There's a custodianship of being able to win and hold a mantle at some point. But there's a mad level of respect that comes from what this mountain means, how hard the track is to drive around, the characteristic of the track and the consequences. I mean, the Brock saying of great racetracks having consequences is exactly why we love it. It's why people jump out of planes and ride big waves. Going across the top of this hill is as good as it gets in car racing.
What did you do every single year? First thing you did every time you turned up at this place for this event, what did you do?
I just drove straight in and drove straight around the racetrack.
Yep.
I couldn't wait.
Single time, even in 22 when I came in, it's the first thing I did.
Yeah.
Because that's paying the respect. I know people go, oh, really? It sounds a bit. But it was. That's what it was about. That's what I felt about the place. But it's exactly the same.
Yeah. And I reckon you ask every single person in this pit lane that very question, they've all got the same answer. It's incredible, isn't it?
It's amazing,
and it's hard to describe that feeling to people and the sanctity of that. Yeah, it's almost religion.
Well, but you come here, and like it was 10 years between my first and second with him, which is great. But then 06 was such a memorable for me. But you were the favourite. You can come here as the favourite.
Thanks, Craig.
We remember that.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah, we just about got over it.
Might need some more time on the couch.
20 years, yeah.
But no,
20 years might not be enough. Yeah.
But you can come here as the favourite, and like we were all talking about this year about Brock,
thanks,
how he's
Craig.
dominating the sprint series. You can come here as the favourite and just absolutely a $2 park can go wrong and just take it straight out of the race.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
it's the magic of the mountain, isn't it? We just don't know what might happen, even for tomorrow.
Have any of you guys sat on the start line from whatever grid position and actually thought I could win this race at the end of the day? As in thinking you were going to? Because I never ever sat there going, I'm going to win this, because there was just too many things that could go wrong.
I think if you get ahead of this race, it taketh.
Yeah, take it.
If you respect this race early,
Yeah.
it may giveth. And I think that's I've never ever thought, even starting from pole position, we're on today. Never.
There's
ever,
too many
ever.
things that can go wrong for me to
absolutely.
be here at the end in this position.
Yeah.
Yeah, you?
No, I remember driving in on that morning when we were a red-hot favourite, shortest price favourites in the sport's history. And I said to Garth as we drove in, and I said to GT, what will happen today, Garth? And as it turned out, the clutch failed on the line. We went 1 kilometre and it was over an hour. No good. Thank you for reminding us, Craig.
Well, it was a good day for me. Thank you.
Gentlemen, we've gotten a bit deep here on the couch. I've really enjoyed that. Thanks for making some
Thanks,
time
guys.
on what's a really busy weekend for all of you, I know, to do some reminiscing. Enjoy the great race tomorrow. We've still got a bit to play out here this afternoon, though, with the top 10 shootout. We're counting down to that. Will we see a lap of the gods? We'll have to wait and find out. Thank you, Murph. Thank you, Craig. Thanks, Garth. And thank you, Mark.